Welcome to our webinar. The subject today is our new developed profile builder. The goal is to give you a demonstration on how to use the profile builder, but before doing this I have some introduction to show you. If we look to the different profiles that we are handling on daily basis here, we see that 44% of all the profiles is Femtoline or Femtoline family. Then we have Streamliner and Microline, which is 9 and 19%, and then the rest of the profiles, which is about 28%. However, if we look to Streamliner and Microline, there we see that more than 85% of all the profile drawings that we are making today, or orders that we are getting for these two products, profile families, is 85%, more than 85% is in fact continuous light lines. That means that we have continuous light without using spotlight or without using downlight, etc. So to develop the profile builder, we decided to start with Streamliner and Microline, because Streamliner and Microline, they are based, especially for the continuous light lines, they are based on LED arrays, and that means that every LED array has already the driver on board, so we do not have to take this in mind. This is one unit which is that long, and so we can calculate with this. If we look to Femtoline, there it is a little more complicated, because there we have different LED flex, and depending on the power and the length of the LED flex, we have different drivers which we need to calculate. So we said, let us start with Streamliner Microline as continuous light lines, and there we can have a further development. So this is what we have start with in the profile builder. Now, the goal of the profile builder is first of all to make a user-friendly online application. So it's an online application where we need, of course, a login and a password, which is then provided by Delta Light. It is a quick and simple application, so you will see, I will give a demonstration immediately. By entering some details, you will get the possibility to make, you have the possibility to make construction of a certain profile, which is based on, as I said, continuous light lines. There is, of course, an optimization of the length based on the specs of the profile that is chosen. So if you say I go for a Streamliner or I go for Microline, then each typical profile has, of course, LED arrays with typical information as length. So based on the selection that is made and the combinations, they will say, look, this is the optimized length to have a full length completely lit, filled with light lines. There is also a possible length restriction for transport. If you make a construction which is, let's say, more than 8 or 10 meters, you can always indicate what is the maximum length of one single part. So if you say the maximum length could only be 3 meters for transport or access to the building perhaps, then the 10-meter construction that you make will be divided in parts which are not longer than the 3 meters. Now, the final result is that you get a drawing and a part list with prices as a PDF. So this is a completely file. Let us say that you have with drawing and article list and prices, so you can go with this to your client. We have also the possibility to make an export of the drawing as DXF. DXF means that you can import this into AutoCAD, for instance. So if you have a drawing of the building where you want to implement this construction, well, it is easy to implement the DXF into that construction, and then it fits into the scale. And the last thing is that we can have an export of part list as XML. This is an export that can be sent to us together with the PDF when people are placing an order. And with the XML, we can import the information directly into our computer system without typing all the different article numbers and quantities. So this is in fact what it is about. Now, as I said, we have started with Microline and Streamliner. Microline 60, 40, 40 plus, and then the 4 members of the Streamliner. Streamliner trimless, 85, Streamliner 70S and 70L. So this is what is actually in the profile builder. The goal is to expand this in the third part of this year. So this will be somewhere September, but you will get information about this, where we will integrate the complete Femtoline family. Femtoline family, where we have calculation based on different LED flex, and then of course also the according drivers, 24 volt. And finally, what we will also have, and this is then in the last part of this year, we will also integrate everything what is magnetic profiles. As you know, the magnetic profiles, they have quite some expansion in the new lighting Bible that we have. So also for this, we will have a possibility to make a drawing and finally to have a part list of all the components that are needed. So this will be more a type configurator in the same system. So let's have a look now. The profile builder can be activated by this link here. So as I said, you will get a password and you will get a login to have access to the profile builder. So simply by activating, and normally this should already be prepared for Deltalight. As you see here, username is Deltalight and the password is already there. So I simply have to go to the login, and this is what I get. So I arrive immediately in what we call the dashboard. The dashboard is all the information of all the constructions, all the drawings that already have been made. So here we see the name of the project, we see last changed. This is when the drawing was made, the date when it was made or when it was changed. Then the profile that is used, like here Streamliner 70L. There is a drawing number, which is a unique number. The drawing number will be created by the profile builder itself and will be placed onto the drawing. So if you download PDF drawing, you get this number as well. So this is also the number that we will use for reference in our ordering system. And then we have three fields of information: your project ID, drawing made by, and additional information. This is information that you can fill out just to help giving details about the project. Drawing made by is quite important for us then, because if we get a drawing, we still have a question about it. If the name is there, we know who to ask for further information. Okay, so here we see the first 10. In fact, if I scroll down, I see the first 10 drawings, and here I can go further to the next 10, to the next 10, etc. So this is the dashboard. I also have here a search function. Let's say I want to know all the drawings that were made by Alexander, for instance. So I simply type the name. And I see here that he has made 2 drawings. So simply by putting there, I can make filter on every single field. So if I don't put anything there, I have the whole list of all the drawings that were made. Let us come back later to this dashboard. What if we make now a new construction? Well, here we have a button which is called New Project. So when I go there to New Project, I start, in fact, the profile builder. And here on this side, I have project information. So here I have the project name. I can put a name there. Let me call it test 7. Voilà. Quantity, I want one of the constructions that I want to make. Drawing made by, I will put my name there. Your project idea, additional information, this is something you can simply add. Let's say this is for the kitchen, so I can type whatever I want there, okay? So this is for that left side. Now I go to the construction, in fact. So here I have to answer a few simple questions, in fact, to get to the page where I can make my drawing. And the first question I get is, what kind of construction do you want to make? Is this linear, L shape, U shape, rectangular, Z or S? Attention, this is always top view. If we look to a plan of a house or of a building, it is always top view. So also here it is top view. Let's go for a U-shaped construction. The next thing is the mounting. Do I want to go for recessed surface mounted or pendant mounting? If I don't know what this means, there is always an I from information. So when I push this button, I get some extra information. When I push again, I close this field, okay? So let's say we go for a pendant mounting. As I go for pendant, I only see the pendant possibility. So I will not see here a trimless profile, okay? So here I have the choice between 70S, 70L as streamliner, or I have Microline 40, Microline 40 plus. Let's say I go for Microline 70S. Again, here I have the information button. When I push this button, for people who don't know the streamliner, they see a drawing here with some dimensions. They get some explanation in words, what is streamliner, okay? So let's go back here. This is the profile I want to select. So the next question is, what color do I want to use? Let's say I go for a black color. Then what pendant length? 1.6 meter. Then I have a cable base. So also I go for square cable base in black finish as the profile is black. Then the question is, what kind of polycarbonate do I want to use? Is this SBL or is this prismatic? Well, here it is SBL. And then I have light distribution direct or direct indirect, so downlight or down and uplight. Let's take here down uplight as an example. For the LED, I need to indicate whether this is high output or high efficiency. If you look to the catalog, you also have the two options, high output, high efficiency. If I go for high output, I have a next selection to make, whether it is non-dimmable 1 to 10 volt dimming or DALI dimming. I will take 1 to 10 volt dimming. Same for the uplight. Do I want non-dim 1 to 10 volt or DALI dimming? Let's say the uplight is not dimmable, for instance, voila. And so I have indicated all the different parameters. The next question is now this maximum length for transport. So if I will make a construction, I can indicate here what is the maximum length of one individual part. If I say, okay, for transport and access to the building, the profile should not be longer than 3 meters. Well, I write here 3 meters, so 3,000. Voila. Attention, there is an addition of 400 millimeters for packaging. So the maximum part will be indeed 3,000 meters. There will be no length longer than 3,000. But when this length is packed, it will turn out it is 3,400 as a maximum because we add each side 200 millimeters for packaging. So just as information. And then here I have switched to designer. So when I go to this button, I come into a new page, and this is the page where I make the drawing. I have selected that I wanted to make a U shape, so this is what I get here, a U shape, and I have a possibility to fill out the first length. Let's say I take something about 6,745. Of course, 6,745 is just the dimension I give here. This is not an optimized length. What is optimized? Well, if you look to the catalog, you find all the different LED arrays. Every single LED array has a dimension. So how long this module is, that means how many space does this module take inside the profile. So if I indicate a length and I want to make a continuous light line, then the idea is, of course, or the goal is to fill this length with all different LED arrays until the length is completely filled up. So this is why it gives me an optimized length, the length above or the length below. If I go for non-optimized, then this means that I will have at the end a piece of aluminum cover. Let me show this later on. So I will go now for optimized length of 6,488. Voilà. Next, the next length is 4,000 and something. Need to select it first. Voilà. Again, I have a possibility for two optimized lengths. For the middle section, we do not allow to go for non-optimized because then we have a piece of cover which we need to divide in two parts, left, right, but that doesn't make sense because then the upgoing part on the left side and the upgoing part on the right side are also continuous. So this is a bit weird. So here we only have the two optimized lengths. Let's say I go for 4,276 next, and now the last one, which is, let's say, 3,800, and I have this one here, and I go for next. Voilà. My drawing is made. I can take this drawing and move it all over my screen. I can also use the scroll function to see a little bit more in detail the drawing that I have made. Here I have different layers which I can make disappear, or they are back on the screen. So here I can, for instance, see the uplight, downlight. So if I say I will switch off the downlight and I will only see the uplight, so here I see the uplights now. I can also select the suspensions. Where are the suspensions? These are the black dots that I see now. These are the suspensions. When I take this back and I show the down modules, I get the down modules. I can also show the down polycarbonate cover. This is then the cover. So this is what I can do after I have made my drawing, okay? As you can see, there are different dimensions here. So the length that I have indicated is split into shorter pieces, shorter than 3000 millimeter, as I have asked for. Here I have a button which is called Show Part List. So when I press Show Part List, I see the part list of this whole construction immediately. So I will need 2 pieces of 2 meter 838. I need 1 piece of, etc., etc. First I have the profile, then I have the polycarbonate, etc. And here I can scroll down to see the full list if I want. So this is just the list. Here I can close this again. I have asked for 1 construction. If I now say, yeah, that's fine, but I need 2 constructions like this, fine. Then if I go to the part list, you will see that this quantity is raised from 2 to 4, and this one from 1 to 2, etc. So it has been multiplied by 2 immediately. I close this again. So if I go down here, then I see here export. When I use this button, export, I have possibilities to export the DXF. Again, DXF is giving you a file which can be imported into AutoCAD. Or I can have a PDF. A PDF is the drawing, but also the part list and the price. And the price that you will see is the price that is connected to the login and the password. So we will set the prices from HQ. And then we have the XML. This gives you a list of articles and quantities that we can import into our system in case of an order. So if someone wants to place an order, they simply send us the PDF and the XML together as one message, and this is then an order for us. So let's go to the PDF. When I press PDF here, I get the message to open it. So when I now open the PDF, I have a list. On top, I see this is Streamliner 70S Black. This is what I have selected. I see the drawing number, of course. The name was Test 7. Customer, I have made the drawing here in Deltlight. So customer is Deltlight, drawing made by, because I filled out my name, Philip. Here I see then the quantity, the length, the article number, and the article name, but also the price. And the total price I see completely below. So this is then the total price. Here I see the LED arrays that are selected. I see the suspension cables, I see cable base, I see the current supply cable, etc., etc. So this is something that is already integrated, and I get a full list. If I scroll down, I get the drawing. So this is the drawing that I have made, and I said that I want 2 constructions, so I have 2 times the drawing for downlight. So this is the downlight situation, where I see the length of the individual parts, and they are also numbered in profile 1, profile 2, profile 3. So this is also what will appear on the label on the box of the packaging. When I go down, I will find the individual pieces. So here again, 2 times profile 1, and this is the content. So this is the LED array, the content of that length. And the length is 1405. And so it goes further, profile number 2, profile number 3, etc. So here I see every single length. And again, the lengths are not more than 3 meters, because I have indicated maximum length could be 3 meters. And if I go further, then I have the same construction again, but this time it shows you the uplight. So this is the uplight. How the uplight is divided, this is calculated by the profile builder based on the lengths, based on some restrictions when you are using cable suspensions, etc. So when there is a cable suspension, there cannot be an uplight, and this is all calculated within the profile builder. And then I have again the same individual parts. So profile 1 is the same profile 1 as what we have seen, but this is now the up section, what I'm seeing. So this is the up side of each individual profile. So this is the result. All the information that was filled out, like the name, customer, drawing made by, etc., you can find here. The type of profile that is used, you find here. And the drawing number is here again on the drawing. Okay. If I close this, I go back to where I was before. So this is again my drawing here. Let's say that I want to change something after I have seen some mistake, for instance. So when I go back here and I press this length, so simply selecting the length, it shows me the length was the number in the middle, 4,276. I can enter something different. I can change to, for instance, 3,969. When I do next, then it will make immediately a new calculation. And immediately I have, when I go to export, I have a new export and I have a new result with a new drawing where this dimension has been changed. What is also changed is the drawing number. So this is important. When you change something, it gets automatically a new number. Just this to make sure that we always have the correct drawing here with the correct reference. So this is the profile builder. If I want to the construction I have made, I mean, when I go back here, back to configuration, I can always go back to the configuration and I can change things. If I say I want to change, for instance, here from black to white, well, I change from black to white. This has no influence on the calculations that have been made. Only it can have another part list and it can have a different price if there is another price for another color, for instance. But for the rest, it is only when I say U-shape, I want to change the shape to something different, let's say rectangular, then I will get the information, do you really want to change this, yes or no? Because if you do this, if you do so, you have to make a whole new construction, of course. And so the previous calculation is completely gone. So this is for the construction. If I go back then to the dashboard, I see here all the drawings that have been made, as I explained before. Whatever construction that I want to see again by pushing here, by using the button open, I will get again on the screen that drawing, that information. I have also the possibility here to do the export, so I don't need to open it, but I can do from the dashboard immediately an export of DXF, PDF or XML, so that's also easy. And I have another possibility here. I can make a copy of a file and I can delete a file. So if I want to delete a drawing, well, I use delete, of course. If I want to copy, let's say I have an apartment and I have the same construction on the second floor, well, by simply copying it, if I say copy, then it says here copy of test 7. I have again the possibility to change this name, but at least the construction is completely the same. So this is what is possible with our profile builder. And then by using logout, you go out of the system and back to where we have just started. So this was, in fact, the demonstration of our profile builder. As you have seen, this is quite an easy tool to use. Thank you for your attention.